Okay guys, how you going? Welcome back to the Old Fellas Travels. So I mentioned yesterday that we were probably going to stop at Denman. We made pretty good time, and I'm in a bit of a rush, so to speak, to get the WA border. My daughter said there might be another case of coronavirus in Queensland, and I'm not sure what the impact is going to be, but I've been out of Queensland since for probably 10 days now. But anyway, I just want to get across that WA border this time. You know, attempt 3, and we'll get it done. But having said that, so I pushed on about another hour and a half, and I've stopped at a spot called Cassilis, Cawsilis, I believe it's spelt. And I've called in. I got it off of Wiki Camps, the Cawsilis Bowling Club. Now, I'm not sure how current the bowling club is. She looks a little bit run down, and the grass doesn't look cut as a bowling club, but I still think they have a membership degree. And what I read on the wiki sites, which is yet to be confirmed, is apparently they do meals on Friday and Saturday nights, old pub style meals, and hopefully beer at genuine 1972 prices. Anyway, I'll give you a quick round because I think it's a little bit of a find. It doesn't take much to please me, to be honest, but one thing I do, I like short grass. I like it clean and tidy. I like it. It's good if they've got a toilet, would be drop toilet or whatever. Either or. Shower doesn't bother me. I've got my own shower on the camp with it, and to be honest, the Dot shower is as good as any shower that you're going to get in a caravan park. In all honesty, I thought I'll lux it up, have a bit of luxury for a couple of days before I left, and I decided to stay in the caravan park at Gloucester. As nice as the Gloucester Holiday Park is, and it is a nice park, and I understand the attraction, but after the second night, personally for me, I would have rather been here at Scrub. It had washing facilities, had power that I thought I needed, but I didn't in the end. I definitely needed water, but I didn't have to go to a caravan park for that. And I actually slept better at Scrub. Caravans parked either side of me, and the air conditioners kicking in and out, and you know, people partying just across, and it just wasn't me. I'm not knocking caravan parks. I get it, and I get how people goes in groups. But a positive for that caravan park, before I move on, was I met some great old fellas here. I wasn't saying old fellas. One was probably not far off my age. The other Lou and I've forgotten their names already. I should have wrote them down. But the other old bloke, he had a 76 series, same as mine, but it was about 10 years old. I think he said he had 160,000 km or something. And I said, it's only running in. Well, I got to chatting with these old fellas, and it's a really interesting story. They've both been travelling for 20, 30 years. I don't know. I know the old fella, he's got to be 10 years on me. I think he said he was 74, so he's got to be 10 years on me, but he's been travelling since the 70s, and he was telling me stories about, you know, he rode a motorbike across the Nullarbor, how he took his kids, you know, round the place when there was no bitumen roads, and the Unedata track was actually a better access north up through the guts than what the main road was meant to be. So really interesting stories, and for me, this is part of what the trip's about, you know. Finding myself again, you know, after losing my wife, finding myself again, meeting these old characters, and, you know, the old good solid Australian people that I remember growing up, you know, especially out in the country areas, you know, good solid Australian people, you know, soldier on and get on with the job. And none of them are rolling in dough, you know. They're much the same as me. They're just, you know, knocking it along, and enough money to keep going, and enough in reserve, but certainly not rich by all means. So that was really good, and a real feature, and what I was hoping to find on the trip. So brings me back to ground a little bit, gives me a chance to reflect, you know, back on myself, and that's one of the things I want to get out of this. You know, this is really a healing trip for me. But enough about that. Here we are at the golf club. It's really nice, actually. You know, I wouldn't say it's flash, but it's not a dump. It's obviously, you know, been repurposed and fallen to a little bit of, you know, lack of use, but there's still some usage here. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 powered sites by the look of it. Looks like they have water too. So they've got 4 powered sites over there. I'm not sure about the the water, whether it's drinkable or not. There's the bowls club over there. I imagine that's where the meal's going to be tonight. I'm certainly going to go over and give it a crack with a couple of ales. If Wiki Camps is still correct and they're still doing Friday and Saturday night meals, I imagine they might be. There's all fella over there. I think it's probably a member doing some work out the back. I think it's only, I think for an unpaid outside it's only like $8 a night or something. So he said anywhere come across here, anywhere of this weeping willow tree that's sticking out. So I picked this spot here, and really nice little spot actually. Bit of shade under my shelter there. Bit of shade from the willow tree to sit under in the morning. And then over here some of the old facilities. I imagine they must still do, you know, cattle drafting and things like that here. Looks like it's still having some regular use, which is the only surviving activity for a lot of these small towns. But yeah, quite a nice place. Now I'll just quickly walk over because it looks like I haven't checked out the shower facilities yet, but it looks a bit like they might have knocked up a new block. So I see there the old, you know, grounds, because this might have been a small showground back in the earlier days, I imagine. But they've got some facilities here. They've got a nice little sit down area. There's a nice barbecue new shelter over there with barbecue and such. I'd say this is the old his and hers, and here's the new facility. So look at this, you know, nice and clean and tidy. Nice big showers. Oh, I've got to tell you, this is some of the best shower facilities I've seen so far. Look at that. They've got lift off shower head there for the disabled, nice and clean, you know, soap, paper towel, standard showers, still got good rose heads on them, and then the you know, some other toilets. And I'll tell you what, this is a cracker of a little stopover, perfect for an overnight stop. You can even stay here, pull in one night, stay the night, have a look around the place, and then shoot through the next morning. Nice, clean and tidy, grass nice and short, very good. I'll give it the old fella's travels rating of a score 9.5 out of 10. There's the sleeping bag there. She's been so damp because we've had pretty much rain and, oh Jesus, terribly damp, very high humidity the last few days. So I'm shaking it out because old Barnes was he's been a little bit crook, and I was up about every hour with him last night, and because it's so wet, of course he had to come in with his wet feet, and I had to tolerate that. So here he is. He's had a good run around, he's chased a few butterflies, he had a good drink of water, he's laying down there. It is quite warm actually, I think 33 degrees, 34 degrees when I pulled in. So Barnes is resting up over there. We'll come to life a little bit later on. Okay, so ticking the box for this. Cawsilis bowling club. When you drive in here, it doesn't look like there's anything here, but there is. And the old fella said, look, you can rock over after 4 o'clock. That's when you'll be able to pay. And I thought, that's probably when the bar's open. I could go a cold one. I got a cold one out somewhere. I just don't know where I put it. Yeah, like my brain. Sometimes I dislodge that and don't know where it is either. Okay, so I did say that I was going to start doing some rundowns on setups now. There's 3 setups I do. This is obviously an overnighter, so I don't pull the big canopy out, and I think that's pretty typical with most people with the dot camp, especially on their own. It's not a lot of work, but it is some effort to put it out and put it away, especially if it's windy when you're on your own and you're a short ass like me. And not only that, there is some rain clouds around. If it does get wet, you're just putting it away wet, and then you've got to pull it out whether you wanted to or not at the next stop. So if that's dried out before I left Copeton, that's packed away. The awning was wet on the tent this morning because it had rained last night and it was really wet, and same with the awning on the car, but on the cruiser. But that doesn't matter because this setup, quick overnight setup, I pulled in here 2:30, 3 o'clock, 2 seconds, well in reality 2 minutes to roll that the awning end off the car, peg it down, put the crossbar in to loop that, and that does work because it rained heavy last night and I didn't have one bit of pooling on that roll out awning. So that's quick setup. Everyone knows how easy it's got a dot, how quick and easy it is to put up the rooftop tent. 3 minutes here, 5 minutes, I've got the doors open, I've got a beer out, I'm ready to go, and I'm all set up. And there's me beer hiding in the corner. So this is generally my overnight setup. So very simple setup, still hooked up, haven't unhitched from the car or anything. I've got it organised now with a bit of reshuffling, that everything I need to go and have a shower and that, it's all in the back of the car. There's my toiletry bags, you know. So in the leather bag there is me normal get around clothes, me fishing tops, me shorts and that. In the bigger bag is some overflow of those clothes, but is me good clothes. So, you know, I've got some jeans in there, good shirts, etc, because at some stage I'm going to need to put some good clothes on when I'm visiting or I'm somewhere to go out for dinner. I don't think they'll let me into a pub looking like a fisherman that's just got off the boat. So nothing special around here. I'm probably not even going to pull that box off tonight. I think I've got everything I need without getting into it, because that's just flour and all cooking stuff, you know, spices, herbs, veggies, things like that. But good simple setup. Loving it. Very happy with this stopover. I'm going to tick it on the box, and if I ever this way again, this will be high on the priority list. And like I said, I'm not going to pull the kitchen and do a cook tonight. I'll go over there and grab a feed. And I did have a late lunch, so to be honest, I'm not 100% hungry. I just want to support these guys. If they, obviously that's one of their revenue generators. So I'll have a couple of beers and hopefully have a chat to a couple of the old locals, which I just love, and a nice feed, and give some support to these guys for putting up a good site. Drifter cover. Anyway, I'm not sure whether I got that or not, but I needed a cover for me. I needed a cover for the tyre I've put on the roof, which is only up there in case I happen to have two flats, which you've got to be unlucky. But if you take it easy, and don't go too hard, be sensible about it. From what everyone's told me, I shouldn't have too much trouble. And let's admit it, you know, I'm 64. I drive like bloody old Daisy's chauffeur. And so of course I had to go in and buy another cover for the back. So I wanted the Respect the Bush cover on the back of the vehicle, displayable now, and the drifter one went up on the top. I've still got the drifter cover on the back of the camper, so that's what anyone's going to see when I'm towing anyway. That's about it anyway. Rabbiting on once again. I just parked myself under this, they're a magnificent tree, these weeping willows. This one's a little bit out of foliage, but I'm not sure when they're in peak foliage. We used to have one on our place down in Tassie, I think, but there we are. The old fella's travels, quick setup, one night, get away early in the morning, configuration for being on the road. Guys, whack in the comments. You know, if you're doing a similar thing, you don't have to be dragging a dot trailer. I'm interested, you know, if you rooftop tents, quick setups for rooftop tents. Very interested how Luke's been utilising his, because of the very reason that once I finish this trip with all the rough going and the hard roads and that obviously a boat and boat trailer can't handle, and there's not any water there anyway. Once I've done that, drop my camper off, pick up my boat, and then continue on, I suppose, with a second lap, but of all the fishing spots. So it'll be close to the coast, close to the big dams and that. I want to try and target the freshwater fishing. So leave some comments down below, guys. Once again, like the video, give the old thumbs up, and maybe on the positive side, finish with what you might be interested in, because I'm going to be covering a lot of areas, going a lot of places. They won't all be, you know, specifically just drive out in the country camping stuff. Obviously, a lot of it's going to be touring and looking at, you know, the sites, especially once you get to WA. It's a bit of a rush to get to WA because I want to beat COVID. And but once I'm over there, that's when the sightseeing and the adventures really begin. Funnily enough, I see very few videos with old fellas, you know, travelling on their own, whether it be on their own, you know, in the outback, or themselves with a dog or two dogs or whatever. Everybody I spoke to in the caravan park, all those lovely people I spoke to, all had partners. And I can't say I did pull at the heartstrings a little bit, because this original trip was all about doing a trip with my wife in a van, much like, you know, those fellas. But very interesting talking to those guys. So anyway, let me know what you think. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button if you want to continue to receive, you know, to follow me. Hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for all notifications, and you'll get every notification that that is put up on the site. As soon as it's put up, you'll get a notification saying this up. I'm subscribing to more and more people because I find that every one of the subscriptions that I have, at least at one time, has something that's of interest to me with what I'm doing. And to be quite honest, the best way to find out where some of the best places are is to follow the likes of those guys.